Hello and welcome to ARK Survival Evolved. We're on the Extinction map. Off camera I've been gathering quite a lot of resources lately. You notice I've now got quite a lot of darts. I was going around with a long neck rifle for a while without any ammunition. So I've been gathering a load of metal, narcotics and so on so I could get some darts. I've went out and got myself some enough polymer to make a canteen. I've got a GPS as well. I've got a lot more darts as well for the crossbow just in case. And I've been getting myself some other armour. I've got some ghillie armour and some desert armour just to be better suited for when I go out into the wasteland and so on. But for this particular episode, what I want to do is I want to go back to the snow biome over there. I don't have any like fur or anything, but I've got a pretty good fortitude, so I didn't have much trouble over there last time. But it would probably make sense to get some fur. But the real reason I want to go over there is I want to see what these snowy owls are like. I haven't seen much in the way of Argentavis about, so I'm quite tempted to see if I can trap one of these snowy owls. So I've put together some pillars and some ceilings to see if I can lure one of these into a trap and try and tame it. I mean, I'd fully expect that, you know, whatever kibble it'll want will probably be from one of the other newer dinosaurs on the map. So I'll probably have to just get away with any prime meat I can find in the area, or if push comes to shove, maybe just normal meat. But in that case, I think I'll just start off with just a reasonably low level. I mean, the map that I've got set up at the moment goes to up to 180, so you know, maybe something up to 100, 120, just to get a rough idea of what it's like. Later on, I mean, I'll have to start taming the other dinos to see what they're like, and then maybe I can always come back again at a later time to try a higher level one with you know, whatever kibble I can find from these other dinos. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video, make my way over to the biome over there, see what we can find ourselves a place to set up a trap and an actual owl to catch. That's interesting, watching this Managmara, or Managarma I think it is. It's got an ice attack. It's interesting, it's got a pounce attack, so it was jumping up into the air using some sort of breath attack, ice cold breath attack, and then it was pouncing on the. See if it does it again. It just drops down. I was watching it before, and it was jumping up into the air, and it was kind of like hovering. Then it was shooting this ice cold breath attack before pouncing down. Look at the pounce on that thing. I mean, that is blisteringly fast. It's curious to see what yeah. It might not have just been that one. So what is it? A Menagama. Because I was wondering, I mean, I could hear that ice cracking noise. Now I thought it was the snowy owl, and it's not, it's that. Because of its breath attack. A Managama. I'll figure it out at some point, but it's so whenever I hear that, it's the Managama. That ice cracking. It's got a breath weapon. There's a 120 snowy owl out here, which I was quite tempted to look at, but it's a 120 male. I'm interested in getting a female if I can. Yeah, there's a 120 down there, but it's male. I'm more interested in getting a female because then it'll lay eggs. Then I can see what, or at least I'm assuming so anyway. Because the idea is if you want to make kibble, I'll need more females than males. There's no point getting like high level ones for kibble tame. So I have to find somewhere to land, because the trouble is these oh blimey, there's one up there. I'm in a garmer down there. Whoa! Whoa, look at that. It practically froze that. That would be tricky to catch that. I mean, you'll obviously have to trap it because it can jump all over the place, but oh, it's true. I mean, you'd have to trap that with inside a ceiling trap. I mean, you'd have to lure it into something that you can it can't get back out of again. Just want to see what these two are. That's a male 72. That's just out of reach. Female 24. Oh, that's too low to be. That's a bit too low for my liking. Well, I'm just going to have a look around here and see if I can find a reasonable female that I can try and trap. So I'll be back in a while. Well, I've got a trap built. I think it's up there. Yeah, I think it's up there. I had to wait until early light though. It was getting really dark. There's a few snowy owls over there. There's a few over here, but they're all, as luck would have it, they're all busy fighting something. I'm just going to see what that one is over there. I think that was a low-level male. Yeah, it's a 42. I think I'll just try and get that one just for the sake of at least getting started, just to see what it's like. See if I can at least get its attention. Oh wow! Yes, that's a 42. It's nice looking creatures. I'll give it that. Yeah, I'm just trying to find my bearings, to be honest. I know I've put a trap up on a cliff edge somewhere. Ow! Where did I put it? I should have gotten my bearings before I decided to do this. Where the heck did I put it? I've probably got it like miles away somewhere non-violent. Ah, so it's down here somewhere. Oh, it's still on my tail anyway. Ah, there we are. So let's see if we can just still keep it interested anyway. Except my look, I'm running out of stamina almost. Right, let's. Hopefully, it's too big to get back out again, because its behaviour is similar to the Argentavis. Oh no, that's not good. That was not. Okay, so that's not a good thing then. Oh, Struth, this is not a. That was not the expectation there. Hopefully Tina will survive. I think what I'll have to do, obviously, is get a one that's got walls instead. It's just slightly smaller than the RG, because from a distance it looked about the same size to me. Oh, she's getting pushed all over the place. Ah, flipping it. She didn't take too much damage. So the question is, where the heck is this thing gone? Oh, there it is down there. That's a trouble because I can't shoot it from the back of a Tapajara. It's gonna outpace me. It's definitely outpacing me, I think. I wonder if I can bowler it. Yeah, I wonder if you can bowl them. Are you gonna land somewhere? Or is it just gonna... It's just gonna keep running, I think. It's just gonna keep running at this rate. Trouble is, it could end up anywhere. And I've got no way to shoot it unless I can either get ahead of it or... I suppose I could have sort of like put the RG on there, like follow, like. Trouble is, I'm going to tag one of them over there as well. Good grief, that's not what I need. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to rethink this. The pillars aren't going to cut it. I'm going to have to get see what level is that one? What level is it? I can't tell. 18. Still not got enough stamina last. Right, let's see, where would I put my trap again? It was right on a cliff edge, so it'll be over there. Right, I'm going to rethink this. I'm going to build a trap that's got windows. I'm going to have to basically lure it out and see if I can trap it inside a one with windows, and I'll just have to leave the Argent in with it. Because the pillars aren't going to cut it. Yeah, I'll do that, and then once I'm ready, I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm going to see if I can pull this snowy owl over here. It's just starting to get a bit light now. I had to wait. I've had to wait until dawn. It was getting too dark. Hello, you interested or not? I had some real fun trying to get some stone and some wood for this trap. It's a bit small, so I hope this thing can fit in. But it was quite funny because I was just trying to mine some stone, and next thing I know, this I think it's a managama, I think they're called. It suddenly jumped and it turned Tina here into a popsicle. I mean, I made a dash to try and get on it to see if I could ride away, but I couldn't ride her. When I tried to do that, all I could do was access her inventory. And eventually she thawed. So I think it was trying to attack the both of us. I don't know whether it just specifically aggroed on me or something, but yeah, that was not pleasant because eventually I got away. Oh, I got back. Ah, oh yeah, that wasn't the plan. Come here. Let's see if I can pull that thing in here. Ah, Struth. Come here. Oh, totally missed. Ah, it's just gonna circle. Wouldn't care, I'd managed to get her in, but no, Try again. You want it just on your tail, just enough so that it will follow you in. Actually, I don't want to be stuck in there with it. Stay still. Hopefully, Tina will survive that. Otherwise, that's just going to be embarrassing. It's not looking bloody yet, so maybe I'm ever on that side. This is not going to plan. Tina the Tapajara there is taking quite a beating. And this thing's not showing any sign of giving up yet. And I'm not sure how else I can... You can like try and get one... Oh, hang on. Ah, now it's starting to... Ah, no, that's better. I think I've just got enough. Yeah. It's almost... It looks like it's starting to get to the point where it's almost out. Ah, right. Right, see if we can get you back out then. Wow, Struth. Okay, so I think that went extremely lucky, to be honest. 487, so I don't think the arrows were that a good idea, to be honest. Wow, you've hardly got any health at all. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get some health back into this Tapajara. I better change that door so it's closed up. Yeah, I don't want that door automatically opening. It's quite funny, there's a 168 owl around here somewhere. Those two owls actually came up here during the night and they started attacking that Ankylo, and then one of them disappeared and it was just a 168. And then it went off and started, I think it must have given up or something, because next thing I know it was... Oh, there it is, it's down there. It's still attacking this this woolly mammoth down there. It's hardly having any effect on it. I don't think the woolly mammoth's in the slightest bit phased. It's just bizarre. So I'm seriously wondering what I've got myself into with one of these. If they're actually going to be any use. I mean, if it's at least something that can carry weight, then that's something, I suppose. So it's got pretty high torpidity. Weight's 450. I mean, that's a level 90. I mean, this is a 95 Tapajara, so it's got slightly more. It's got slightly more weight, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like once it tames up. But I don't know what kind of kibble it wants. So I'm not going to hold out much hope that it's going to be very effective. And I'm assuming it's going to want meat of some sort anyway. But I'm going to have a look out here and see if I can find any, at least prime meat for it, or you never know, I might find a sheep out here somewhere. I haven't seen any on my travels so far, like, and it's... Torpors seems okay, so I could starve it out a bit. It's an interesting looking bird, I must admit, it's definitely nice. Nice colours, nice, you know, the plumage and whatever. Anyway, I'll go out and see if I can get some decent meat. Then I'll bring you back once I've got this thing tamed up. Okay, well that was a pretty quick tame on prime meat. Didn't lose much. I mean, it'd obviously been like starving for a bit, like, but well, it's interesting that. So let's see. So 510 weight. So it's got a bit more weight. I mean, 134. Let's see. What are you in comparison? I mean, you're up to 165, and I've been leveling this up on weight and so on. Wow, that is nice. It looks like some sort of tech. Yeah, it definitely looks like some sort of tech one. That doesn't look like a natural dinosaur in any shape or form. I mean, obviously it's not. I mean, you just think like it's just because of the tech features that it's got. It's not like something that somebody's like created through genetic manipulation. I don't think it's obviously had like cyborg implants of some sort. So it's kind of, because it looks like part organic, but part. It's just odd because normally, like you see, like the tech dinos that are out there, and they're all tech. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. But this, it's got like an organic side to it and a tech side to it, which is unusual. So that was a 90, a level 90 that I tamed up. So it's got a reasonable amount of weight. I'm looking there. Let's see, what's your melee like? I'm gonna pump that up. I mean, this one's melee is 255, so yeah, it's got quite a bit on stamina. It's got an advantage on stamina. Be interesting to like compare it to at least an RG. I think I'll probably have to do the. I've got just enough engrams left, I think, to learn the snow owl one. It's got to be done through the smithy. So I think what I'll do is I'll take this one back to base, and then we'll take it out for a bit of a run. We'll just turn this fire off. It's coming dead. That's a funny noise. Yeah, this has been really handy because I've been camped out here during the night, so I could start early in the morning to go and catch one of these. It's not too bad. I mean, obviously they don't fit. They're too little to fit through to be able to like block them off with pillars. I don't have enough in the way of a decent like long neck rifle where I could have shot it down pretty quickly. So I was obviously just going to run away, so the easiest thing to do is just try and catch it in a trap like this. Unfortunately, the Tapajara, it's one of those sometimes, I mean that's something I used to do on the island, was you'd sacrifice like a pteranodon for one, you know, if like an RG, then you get a high, then you use like another RG to then try and get a higher level RG. That was one way of doing it. But then it was a case of you found out you could use pillars, and you know, your pteranodon would be able to fit through the pillars, but the RG couldn't. Whereas this little owl here, it's too small, so it managed to squeeze through, unfortunately. It's definitely nice looking. It's definitely a nice looking creature, I've got to say. Anyway, I'm going to head back to base. Well, I managed to get the snow owl back. I've just had enough engram points to be able to make a saddle for it. I've got to say, it's actually quite an interesting dino. I mean, I love the little noise it makes, but it's just bizarre. It flies like, I mean, it's very smooth for flight. But one of the interesting things is it's got flight like a griffin. So you can ride thermal. It's like, you know, like a griffin, like you can with a griffin. So it gives you quite a bit of speed. Oh, there's a Quetzal over there. The left attack's just the normal, sort of like, you know, attack that attacks its beak and its claws by the looks of it. The right, it's kind of got me a bit puzzled, I must admit. The right click, if I press the right click, nothing happens. Doesn't seem to happen, but if you hold the right click down, bounces right to the floor. Doesn't take any damage, but it's actually interesting. I'll demonstrate this because I'll go and find something to attack, if you will. I would have thought when I first saw it, I thought it was something that was gonna be like the dive bomb attack on the griffin. It does do that if you aim straight for the ground, you know, and like dive bomb something. So what's that? Yes. Yeah, this is weird. This, if I go and dive to the ground here, I think that's a, I can't remember, I keep forgetting what it's called. It's a an Archaeopteryx, that's it. But if I dive straight to the ground from here, it freezes it in place. But the strange thing, it actually heals it as well. So it is quite useful in that you can. It is quite useful in the sense that it's you can freeze something there. You know, if you dive on it like that, it'll freeze it in place there for you. But the downside is it's healing it at the same time, so it's just something you have to bear in mind. Now, if you do a dive bomb, which is let's see if I can find anything. There's usually quite a few spiders going around. See, you can like dive bomb things from a height as well. So just literally aim at the deck, and it'll actually cause damage. I think there's a, yeah. So if I just go and aim straight to the deck, say it causes damage. I haven't taken any like fall damage from it. So it looks like similar mechanics to the griffin. I would imagine where you can. It's ages since I've played on a griffin from Ragnarok, but let's see if I can do this. Where you can. So that was about 63 damage we did there, which isn't too bad. The downside though is if I right click while I'm flying, it doesn't pick anything up. So it's not a carrier. So that means I'm definitely going to have to find myself an Argentavis. So that's a bit of a shame. I was thinking, oh, maybe I can get myself a snowy owl instead of an Argentavis, but it doesn't carry anything. So it's quite. I mean, it's good. It's. I'd say it's kind of like the griffin. If you want to get around on the map, this would be like. Oh, it's okay. That's just another Archaeopteryx. So if you want to get around on the map, it seems pretty good. It's definitely useful for that. I've got plenty of food. The other interesting thing it's got, if you use the C, it says it's predator vision. So it can see things, like kind of like a heat thermal imaging. So it's interesting that. So you've got it's quite bizarre. Uses up quite a bit of stamina, like. I want to stay away from those ichthyes, otherwise I'll probably steal something from me. But the it's also like the Argentavis though, in that if it kills something, it'll if you kill something with this, it actually heals from the actual, you know, from killing something and eating it. It's a bit like the griffin though, in that it can sometimes easily get stuck on the ground. You come here. I should really be so like dive bombing it, but I can't be bothered. There, you see there? It's saying rapid regeneration. So it does heal itself when it, you know, when it eats the carcass. So that's a good thing. The trouble is, I mean, I don't know if it's just, I mean, obviously, like with it being a low level, I wouldn't expect much out of it, but I mean, the health goes up a slight bit, the stamina goes up a little bit. So it's kind of like part griffin, part Argentavis, but that it's definitely strange. That so I assume if I wonder if I'll just try this on. Well, that's a weird glitch I've noticed. Press the escape key and I can see right through my head. If you've got the map open, that's just plain bizarre. It's just wrong. It's wrong on so many levels. I just want to try this on my own dinos because I think it'll actually heal anything around it if you use that that option to crash to the floor. I mean, I don't think do you have to be high up? Not really. Doesn't seem you have to be. I need to head in that direction. Let's see, you're on about what? 1155. I'm just curious to see how much stamina this thing burns compared to, say, like the Tapajara. I mean, just being able to ride thermals like that is quite good. That was always one of the perks of the Griffin. If you can do that properly, you can get around the map a lot quicker. Yeah, that's always good. It's a pity you can't like do like a barrel roll. I'd love to be able to like do a barrel roll while you're trying that. I'm not really hearing much because I'm pretty sure you used to get quite a bit of like a sound effect when you were doing that with the Griffin. It's well since I've played Ragnarok, but it's let's see where we're at. If we're anywhere near base yet, I've overshot. Yeah, there's the base over there. So I'm just curious if it's gonna heal any of my dinos. If I could do something really bad, like, but it's out of curiosity. So it's froze that one in place. Ah, no, it's interesting. I can't get up. I can't. Oh, yes, I can now. Because that was a bit like the Magnamar, I think it's called, or a Magnamar. It lit. I mean, that thing froze Tina here. I mean, she was like a popsicle. It was trying to get any stamina out of that. She was just frozen like a popsicle, and I couldn't get on her. All I could do was access her inventory. But there's one thing. I mean, before I finish the video, what I am going to do, I managed to find. I think it was 3. I found 3 loot boxes while I was not loot boxes. Explorer notes while I was out there. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you where they are because I may as well pick them up while I'm on this snow owl. But I think probably the better strategy would be to build a bigger trap, probably with one of those behemoth gates, and then pull one in myself. If I had a stronger long neck rifle maybe, or a better armor, I might be able to get away with being able to bring it down on my own, but Without that, I think I'd be more inclined to get a bigger trap so I could just pull it in, get it to, you know, aggro on me, then rather than risk losing a Tapejara or a Pteranodon. And if I had a higher level one, it would have probably been able to last a lot longer than that. That Tapejara, I mean, it was right on the edge. I was really lucky there. I should have probably started shooting it with darts a lot quicker, to be honest. But yeah. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'll just I'm going to head over to this snow biome, and then I'll just show you where the notes are that I found. Okay, so I'm just keeping my eye out for anything that's around here. There's an explorer note here at 22.474.3. I don't think I'll bother picking that one up. Although, no, I'll just keep a note of that. I might use it some other time. But I'll go and find the other two, and then I'll show you where those are. Okay, so here's the second one that I found. It's just kind of like in the northeast corner of the biome. So that's 11.878. Okay, the third one I found is near this this structure here, which is kind of over into the northeast corner. It's right down here, if memory serves. Yeah, there it is there. Have to be careful, looks like there's some Daedons there. Oh, it's struggling to move. Go away, annoying pigs. It's very good the way it can, I like the way it can hover like that. But anyway, it's down here, which is about 17.186. If you haven't played Ragnarok, I mean, it's not like one of the main maps you use. I mean, you can still. I mean, I've got my GPS open at the moment, although I'm in like third person. If I try and dive, you'll notice it's not actually diving at all. So if you ever find you're trying to like dive at one of these snowy owls and it's not doing it, you've either got the map open or you've got it's like a GPS open or something. Because as soon as I put it away, see how it now it can glide and whatever. You can't I can't use any weapons off the back of it either, which is a bit of a pity. I think you only I mean there's you can use like you can do that with the Tapejara, depending if you go into one of the passenger seats and then just get the Tapejara to follow things, but you can't do that with this either, so it's yeah. Well, I'm gonna head back to base and then I'll wrap up this video. Right, so we're back at base. I must admit I do really like this snow owl. I mean, the aesthetics are really good. It's, I'm surprised they didn't like make it like a full tech beast, but it's I don't know. I'm growing quite fond of it actually. That I like because I like the plumage because it's like some sort of like cyborg sort of thing. But it's good that it's got the similar mechanics to the Griffin, where you can dive bomb and ride thermal, so it makes it a good mount for getting around the map, I'd say, a lot quicker, because it seems to be quite efficient with stamina compared to say like a Tapejara. They can get around pretty quickly. Likewise, so can Pteranodons, but they run out of stamina quite quick. These ones, I mean, this is only like it was a level 90 that I got it at, I believe. I think it was 90. And it's done pretty good. I mean, I managed to get all the way out of the snow biome without having to stop once. But you can speed it up by dive bombing and so on. So it also gives you that option to, well, literally you can dive bomb things, so you can do quite a bit of damage like you can with a Griffin. I think the one downside to it is just the fact that you can't pick anything up with it. That's a real disappointment, really. because it's a case of, you know, for like a workhorse I'd have to go out and get an Argentavis now. I'll definitely have to get one of them so I can, you know, to help gather metal, stone, wood, all that sort of stuff that I've got to bring back and smelt and all that sort of thing. I mean, that thing's got weight to it. This snow owl, the Argentavis, I suspect has got probably better weight, but it can pick things up as well, which is great for being able to tame like small to mid-sized dinos. That's always been one of the greatest things about the Argentavis. It makes taming a lot easier. It's interesting that like the way it can like just suddenly drop out of the air and it freezes things on the ground or in like an area around it. It doesn't take any fall damage, but I don't know. I mean, it's like there's a mechanic there to like heal anything by the looks of it. It doesn't just freeze things; it heals them in the process. Could be a bit risky for if you're in a tribe, because obviously you could provide healing to allies, but you're freezing them at the same time. So I don't know. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, that feature. I mean, it's quite beneficial in that you could use it to freeze an enemy. The heat vision thing's quite good in some respects, I suppose, because if you're out looking for something, because it says it's predator vision, so if you're deliberately going out looking for something, it's useful. But the real downside is, if you know, I would have found it useful for looking for like small things, but if I want to pick them up, I can't. You know, it's sometimes hard to see things in the undergrowth. That would be really useful, but the downside is you can't pick anything up with this dino. So that's a bit of a shame. So I think more than anything I'll probably use it as really just for scouting. I mean, it's up about 510 weight versus what you want now, 411. So it is slightly better than the Tapejara and the Pteranodon for picking things up. I mean, as it gets to higher levels, I'm assuming that'll be a lot better as well. But realistically, I'd be more inclined to get an Argentavis for that. I've noticed there's actually Quetzals on the map as well. They can be a pain in the neck. It'll be interesting to see what their mechanics like on this map versus the island, because with the island they always went to pretty much the centre of the map if you started to chase them. Again, you'd probably have to use a Tapejara for doing that if you're on your own. This snow owl wouldn't help you much. One interesting thing I've noticed actually though is it drops, when it poops, it drops pellets. It doesn't call them, I mean, I suppose it could have been a tech. It's not a, you know, it's not like a biological creature, it's a tech creature of sort. I mean, if you look at this, like this medium poop though, that's got about 7,500 nitrogen to it. This one dropped a pellet. It's 50,000 nitrogen. I mean, it's got I mean, the spoil time is what, 13 days? So that's pretty good for if you want to farm things. So that's about, so you've got about roughly 13 days, I'd say, I think. It's about 1 hour 22. Actually, that's not counting down at all for some strange reason. It's odd that if I hover over that, it wasn't going. See, the seconds there, they're not going down. Yeah, see how they're not going down until I take the mouse away, whereas if I go to that one, they do. That's an odd little feature. They weigh a lot less as well, but they've got a massive amount of nitrogen. I mean, that's 50,000. I wonder how much a bag of fertilizer is in comparison. And that's 54,000 versus 50,000. So if you've got a, I don't know if it's going to. Wow! It actually spit it out. It actually spit it out. I mean that actually. I mean that's it kind of like, because these, if you use like compost heaps, it take quite a lot. You know, it takes quite a lot of time. I'll just get some thatch here. It takes quite a lot of time to produce fertilizer in a compost bin. It's better if you've got a dung beetle, and I have seen some out on the map, which is just as well. But if you had a few of these, they could just every so often poop out a pellet for you, and that's it. That's your fertilizer for you. Because as I say, it's not that far off. 50,000 versus 54,000. Oh, that's quite clever. That. It's an interesting addition. Because I'm assuming that thing's going to spit them out a lot quicker than this thing's going to take there. It doesn't give me a timer, but it takes forever. I mean, I know the dung beetles are quicker, but yeah, I mean, just to conclude though, I mean, I definitely do like this snow owl, I must admit. I mean, I mean, going by looks, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know if you can. I don't know if it's gonna. I think this is a female I picked up. So I think time will tell if it actually spits eggs out or something like that. I suspect not. So I think if you're gonna like tame anything, I think that's pretty much it. I'll just have to see, because I know that the tech dinos, they did actually drop tech eggs, but I don't know. I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll if it does ever drop anything, I'll let you know. But otherwise, I mean, I think for me it's pretty much a dino for getting around on the map quicker. At this low level, it's not. I mean, it's not wonderful, but it's, you know, if you want to start attacking things, I think it's got that dive mechanic like the Griffin, but it would still take quite a lot to kill something, and the stamina does start to go down pretty quickly once you start using that technique of dive bombing things. The drawback I found is that I didn't get that much stamina out of a level up. It'd be a real shame if you can't breed them. But yeah, I think it was definitely a useful addition, as I say, for getting around. But that's probably it, I'd say, apart from that extra little farming feature that you've got there now. But in terms of capturing them, unless you've got a pretty high level, like long neck, and some decent armor to tank it with, I'm looking at probably getting a bigger trap, something that I can literally pull it in through a much larger door than that one I had, because that was just the basic door that I was using. That was just the standard stone gateway, probably with a behemoth gate. I could pull it through, shut the door, and then run out another door and just leave it trapped in on its own. Because I was quite surprised it was doing quite a lot of damage to this Tapejara here. Just out of curiosity, that's on 1155. So about 105 its stamina went up by. Oh well, never mind. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed the video. I've certainly had some good fun with this catching this snow owl, especially that other dino that I keep forgetting what it's called, a Meganmar I think it is, or something, or a Magnamar, or whatever it is. I'll have a look. But that looks a really difficult one to probably catch. That's going to be another one to trap, which kind of gives me an incentive to go back out there and get a much bigger trap. The problem that I found with that though is that it can freeze you, or at least it could freeze the dino that I had. So if I was going to go after one of those, I'd pretty much want the furs, and try and pull it into a much larger trap, I'd imagine. Otherwise, it's going to probably do quite a lot of damage to you. It'll just literally jump away if you took it to like an open trap. So you've got to have a proper closed up trap that you can pull it into and close the door behind it, and then run out another door. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you could. Get your reminders as well every time there's new content out, and I'm going to be adding some more videos for ARK Survival Evolved, this extinction map, as I go along. And if you've got any comments, suggestions, if there's anything you might have found out about this snow owl, yeah, please leave a comment, let me know. Much appreciated, because I'm trying to stay away from things like the other YouTubers to see how they're doing and just go at my own pace at this stage. So thanks very much for watching. Till the next video. Bye.